I'm Jonathan Greene, the founder, owner, and broker of record of Streamline, a data-driven, investor-friendly, independent real estate brokerage on Main Street in Madison, New Jersey. And the question that I get asked the most is, why did I do it? Why did I start my own brokerage when I could just work for these other brokerages that most people know of? And the reason is independent. That's the key. I finally wanted to take full control of my own destiny and the destiny of my agents by creating the funnels and streamlined processes that we always had when I had big teams and bring it to my own brokerage. And I did it on Main Street. One thing that Streamline does that not all brokerages do is we focus on the human. Human beings are the core of real estate, but most people talk about sales and pipelines and numbers, but we are always focused on the human beings, and that even goes to my agents. When agents come to me and they ask me, what's the thing that I can do to become the best agent? It's really simple. It's not the amount of calls, it's not the amount of appointments you do. It's just, can you be a regular human being and a good one? That means treating other people with respect, calling them not a million times, but a couple times, texting them when appropriate, and following up until you get the answers that you want, which could be, yes, I want to look at properties. No, I'm going to do something else, and always respecting their decision. A lot of people want to know who is actually in charge of the transaction. Is it the brokerage, the agent, or the client? The truth is, we don't want our clients participating in that way. Our job is to make it as easy as possible for the client to get through in a smooth transaction. Now at Streamline, we also don't want the agents involved in that. We want the agents always focused on their clients. So our back end handles the transaction coordination, making sure with our agent and with our buyer, seller, or investor that everything is on track. And while we do that, we're always working with the other side of the transaction, because this is a cooperative thing, real estate. It's not competitive. Every time we're in a transaction and the other side is another brokerage, they are our partners and we work with them. So we're always in control at Streamline of the transaction from beginning to end and all the way after. A lot of clients want to know if the brokerage matters when you're choosing a brokerage and an agent. It can really go both ways. In my opinion, the brokerage does matter, but it doesn't matter as much as the agent. Now, that doesn't mean that an agent can't be fully supported by the brokerage and do a good job if they're brand new, but the agent is the person that you need to trust. And through the agent, you need to trust the brokerage. So that means when you go on the brokerage website or you get emails from the agent and they refer you to something at the brokerage, it all seems like it works together. And you know that the agent is being fully supported by the brokerage. That's one thing that an independent brokerage can do a little bit better, because we're smaller. We don't have 1,000 agents in one market that we don't even know the names of. We just have a few. We're focused, independent, data-driven, and that means that we're client-focused. So when you work with an agent at Streamline, you're working with Streamline, and we work together, and we want to build that trust with you. What does it mean to be data-driven and investor-friendly? It means that we're focused on the asset. For you, if you're a home buyer or home seller, it can be a really emotional process. You could be really excited about a home that you want to get. You could be really sad that you're leaving a home that you love. Our job is to make sure that on the back end, the data is correct, meaning we understand how to price it, we understand how to make sure that your offer is competitive, and we give you the best advice, not based on emotion, but based on data. And that's why we're investor friendly. We believe that every transaction that involves a buyer, seller, or investor involves an investment. So if it's an investment, we have to be investor friendly. If you're making what is normally the biggest purchase of your life on a home, we want to make sure that it's a sound investment. A lot of people compare independent brokerages to the big box. And look, I did too. I've worked for the big box brokerages, I worked for the cloud brokerage, but now I open my own independent brokerage. really all brokerages follow the same rules. So for you, it's about the level of care that you get as a client. Now, when you're dealing with a big brokerage, sometimes it's very hard for the agent to get the assistance that they need, because if you have 2,000 agents in a marketplace or at one brokerage, you can't just walk in and get the assistance that you want. We're never going to be that big. My agents can text me at any time. They can come into this office and find me. I'm here every day, 12 to 5 during the week. So that's the difference. It's a little bit easier at an independent brokerage for me to be able to coach, train, and help my agents and be responsive to them. And nothing against the big brokerages, but when you have high volume, you either need more employees or more systems. And when you have more systems, sometimes things can get lost in those systems. Why brokerages create good agents is a question that a lot of people ask. Where are you going to find the best agents? Does it matter where they come from? In my opinion, the reason that I, as broker of record of Streamline, can create better agents is because I personally am more focused on the ethics of the business. I really believe that I can make real estate better, and what that means is I want my agents all to be at the top of ethical conduct, the top 1% or higher. Now, that means that sometimes we're not going to let our clients do things that they want to do. We don't like lowball offers that don't have any financial backing or understanding and don't match the market dynamics. We don't want first-time buyers bidding on homes that are as is. It's not safe for them. So something that I've preached along the way that maybe you can't get at a different type of brokerage is that we will say no to a lot of transactions. We'll say no to making some offers because our job is to protect clients from themselves. Real estate is an emotional business, and sometimes clients get way ahead of themselves, and we can't put our reputation in jeopardy because somebody wants to do something that doesn't fit the norms of how real estate works in this area. You might hear the term full service in terms of real estate brokerages. The way that we look at it as lifetime service. We're not looking for one-off clients that we do a transaction with and then we never talk to again. That doesn't make any sense. I've always been a long-term thinker, and to me, real estate is a long-term game. That means we don't have commission breath. We don't think that the transaction is going to be the last time that we talk to you. We're going to send you pizza on moving day. We're going to follow up on the 1-year home anniversary of your sale. We're going to invite you to your client appreciation events. We're always going to be there for you when you need a contract or a recommendation for an electrician, or you just want to know something new about the neighborhood. So you might hear full service. For us at Streamline, it's lifetime service. Why does it matter that we have transaction coordination in-house? Well, it's really two things. It's for the agent and for the client. For our agents, we don't allow them to do any of the paperwork themselves. And I'm telling you right now, that's very different for a brokerage. They will not touch the paperwork. We do the paperwork for them. We have forms that they fill out, and then we create the paperwork so that all of our paperwork looks the best when it goes out for offers or for any documents. So that makes it very consistent. And then on the buyer or seller's end, we're back there. We're not just doing the paperwork. We're coordinating with the title company. We're coordinating with the lender. We're making sure that both sides have everything that we need. We're making sure the utility transfer is going on. So transaction coordination makes it sound like we're just pushing papers. We're definitely doing that for the agent. We're taking that part out of their hands because that's not what they're best at. And we're also taking all the little things that you might worry about as a buyer, seller, or investor, and we're handling it in the back end quietly and only asking you when we need something. At Streamline, we train our agents to be ready for clients in a different way than you would think. It's not about the sales, it's not about the data, although that's going to be important later. But when you're meeting a new client, you have to be an active listener. You want to be interested, not interesting. And that's what my agents are trained to be. Good listeners. They're going to figure out what areas you're interested in, how far you want to be from a train, what your kids' names are, what foods you like, who your sports teams are. All of these things play a role in building a relationship. And while other people think real estate is just solely a sales business, I don't even think it's a sales business at all. I think it's a people business where sales happen, but the only way that you become really good at sales in real estate, and really in any sales business, is by being a good person and building strong relationships. At Streamline, we're data-driven and investor-friendly, but we're focused on you, the client. Streamline is important for investors because we put it in the name. We're investor friendly. That's part of our tagline. But when you think of it, the real truth, people may dispute this, they'll be wrong. 99% of real estate agents don't know anything about real estate investing. They're not investors themselves. They haven't worked with flippers. They haven't worked with short-term rental hosts. They haven't worked with people who do midterm rentals. They haven't worked in commercial assets. Fortunately, I've been doing that my whole life. And what I do is I take my experience, help my agents build that as well. But when we're talking about investments, we're talking about handling investors. That means we're talking about figuring out exactly what they want, what their out values are, what their metrics are, what they want to do with the property, making sure that they have a backup plan with the property, and making sure that the underlying value is good. Investors like to work with Streamline because we understand what it's like to be an investor. It's not the same as being a regular home buyer, and you don't do things the same way. We have a lot of trust in our investors to know that they know what they want, but our job is to help them become better and find better properties and then eventually turn them into income-producing assets. One of the most common questions we get is, what's going on with real estate commissions? There was a big lawsuit that made everything a little muddier than it should have been. But the truth is, almost nothing has changed in New Jersey. Commissions have always been negotiable, so if you're a seller, you're going to be able to figure out what you want to do on the commission end. For buyers now, instead of for us as agents being able to see it on the MLS, we need to text the listing agent to find out what the buyer broker compensation is so that we make sure you understand that you're not paying the commission. So the biggest change though is that all buyers, every time you see a property, you have to have a buyer agency agreement signed. You can sign a one-off. We don't do that. I can explain that in another video, but we generally focus on long-term buyer agency agreements, so we're locked in with you. And what that can do is that creates this level of trust. We know we're working together, we're building that relationship. And in that buyer agency agreement, you can choose not to look at properties that aren't offering compensation from the seller. So if the seller's not offering compensation, which means you would have to compensate, you can choose not to see those properties. But we'll find it all out in advance. And the truth is that in New Jersey, for the most part, I'd say 99% of the properties that I've showed since that happened about a year ago, they're still offering buyer broker compensation. So there was a whole lot of information out there, but the truth is not much has changed. We got you covered. One thing to remember about the listed price of a home is that it doesn't always equate to value. In some parts of New Jersey, they price low, in some they price at value, in some they price higher. It's our job to be able to tell you up front where it's priced at. So we can look up a value in just a few seconds and say, hey, it's listed at $699, the value is $720, that's pretty fair, and we're judging that. But there's something else to consider. When you have a list price, but you also have low inventory and high demand, that list price is usually going up. So if you've been talking to your parents or to your friends who used to transact 10, 15, 20 years ago, they're probably saying, never overpay for a house. I would never pay over list price. All over New Jersey, in all of our markets, almost every house, especially in the first week, is going to sell for more than the list price. Now, in some areas, you'll see them priced low. They'll sell 100, 200, 300,000. I've seen as much as $1 million over list price. In other areas, they're going to be priced generally toward the value. But if you have 9 offers coming in, it's still going up. Our job is to be able to coach you and guide you. We can never tell you what to bid as a buyer. And if you're a seller, we're never going to tell you what to list at. We may choose not to list the property if you're listing at a price that doesn't work with what we think the market is accepting of, but in the end, what you offer or what you list at is always your choice. The speed of a transaction is highly reliant on the brokerage and the agent. If you just look at our name, Streamline, it tells you all you need to know. We streamline every part of the transaction, which means we're talking to everybody. Title, lenders, the other side, buyer, seller. We're always making sure that we're on track for closing. We close most of our deals in 30 days or the days that we've agreed to in the contract because we never take a day off from making sure that everything is working and everything is on track to close. I've always been a fan of main streets, and here I ended up on Main Street. 22 Main Street in Madison, cars going by, there's nothing you can do, but inside it's all quiet. We're on Main Street at the corner of Greene Village. It's the most high traffic area in downtown Madison, and I get to sit inside what I call the fishbowl all day and look out and see what's going on in this great downtown. It's an honor for me to be on a Main Street as a Main Street obsessed person because I feel like Main Street is the comeback for all of these towns. This one has always been great, but there's other Main Streets out there that maybe didn't do so well from the pandemic, and Main Street is the place where you can walk up and down, greet people, and you can just walk in here and find me any day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 5. Welcome, AD. Well, I mean, I wish it was AD, but it's just a preview of what Streamline looks like on the inside. Come on in. I spent a lot of time figuring out this with my designer, Amanda Caruso, because we wanted to present something that was different for a real estate brokerage. Real estate brokerages traditionally look like call centers. No offense to them, they do. We all know it. This is more of a wellness spa design vibe, and it actually makes me feel great because I'm the one that's here every day. I'm the broker of record. I get to look out the windows and I get to feel this type of design. And what we wanted to do with this is we wanted people, when they come for closings here, we wanted it to feel like home.